Picture this, my friends. It's 2016. Call of Duty has just dropped the Infinite Warfare trailer. We got space battles, laser guns, zero gravity combat, and the community absolutely hates it. It ends up becoming one of the most disliked trailers in YouTube history. Meanwhile, in stark contrast, Battlefield 1 is showing off brutal, grounded World War I trench warfare. And suddenly everyone's talking about how Battlefield is back. Fast forward to today, and I'm getting some serious deja vu. Black Ops 7 is promising some ambitious features like wall running and grappling. Although, I'll be honest, I feel like they keep resampling features that people have most likely forgotten in earlier iterations of Black Ops and promoting them as something new, which I do not like. And they also, one thing that they did, hype up also was the fact that this game has a 4-player co-op campaign. I don't understand. I think Activision forgot that they already did this in Black Ops 3 and now are just acting like this is the first time they've done this. But anyway, we got a Black Ops 7 a Call of Duty game that nobody is really excited about. And we have a Battlefield that's promising a more grounded approach, listening to the community. So it seems like we're right back where we used to be. And honestly, Black Ops 7, they're promising all these big features, but it might just end up being another Infinite Warfare moment. And we might just be ending up in an endless cycle over and over again. So let's talk about what Black Ops 7 is actually promising. Like I said, we got they claim this is the first ever 4-player co-op campaign. That's a lie. It's not. It's been done before. One thing that hasn't been done before is the 32-player in-game chapter. It's something that's reminiscent of Destiny if you've played the end of Final Shape. Also, they've got completely unified progression across campaign, multiplayer, and zombies, which I do like. I think that no matter what game mode that you play, you should still be able to progress your guns in whichever game mode that you choose. I like that. Also, I like the fact that you can basically just take your friends anywhere. Nobody has to complain about, I want to grind for weapons. Well, you can grind for weapons in this game mode. You can jump over here and grind over here. So no one's missing out on anything. They also claim they have expanded the Omni movement with wall jumps, combat rolls, wingsuits, and grappling hooks. Wingsuits are giving me some PTSD from Sundance on Battlefield 2042. I'll be honest, but maybe it'll work better on COD's smaller 3-lane maps, but we'll just have to see. They also said they have a new 20v20 skirmish mode that basically turns Call of Duty into Battlefield. One thing I have not liked is Call of Duty trying to appeal to a more broader audience and trying to bring in people from all different FPS genres. Call of Duty became big because of what it is. You knew what you were getting when you turned the game on. You were getting fast-paced, arcade-style combat with 3-lane maps and kill streaks. That's what COD is about. It's about the grind. It's about the prestiging. It's about stomping on your enemies in pub stomping, even though people will disagree about that. They also said this will be the largest zombies map ever at launch. And also they beefed up their security for cheating. They're going with Ricochet anti-cheat, which will require TPM 2.0 and secure boot on PC. I understand some people were aggravated about this because if they're running Linux, I do not think they will be able to play this game without, a few workarounds. But yeah, I understand some people were pretty frustrated about that. But yeah, this is Treyarch basically just going all in. But I'll be honest, this Call of Duty right now, it does not have the amount of excitement that it should be. And honestly, if we were to package Black Ops 7 in a bottle, maybe there would be things to get excited about. If we were to package it and without looking at any outlying factors. But with Activision's history and then their lack of care with the community, not listening to anybody, just constantly putting skins in without really doing the work, being caught using AI, they are destroying the identity of the game that's been set. Black Ops 7 or Black Ops 6, you know, you don't want to come around the corner and run into Godzilla. You want your operators to still look like operators. That's what people want. They want the art style to be maintained all the way to the end of this game's life cycle. I don't understand. And on top of that, people have been, if Activision wants to continue adding in these ridiculous skins, then at the least the community says, why can't you just add a filter so I don't have to see it? But honestly, I don't see Activision doing that, because if they do that, then I don't know what they're thinking, but I would assume they want other players to see these skins, so it would influence them, and people will go to the store more so that they can buy more stuff. I honestly think that's why they have not implemented a simple feature like that. But anyway, we remember why Infinite Warfare failed. It wasn't just a space setting. It was a feature creep. Every new Call of Duty had to be more futuristic, more complex, more innovative than the last. Advanced Warfare had exosuits. I shit you not, I got on Advanced Warfare for about, I don't even think I went over the 5-hour mark before I took it back to GameStop, back when GameStop was actually good. Let's see, we had Black Ops 3, had wall running. Infinite Warfare had zero gravity combat. They also had wall running, even though their maps were not designed for wall running. I guess they were trying to capitalize on the Titanfall genre and the movement, but to be honest, for those of you who have played Titanfall, you would know that the movement on Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare is nothing in comparison to how well the movement was done in Titanfall. But yeah, each game tried to one-up the previous entry until we ended up in space, and players had had enough. Now look at Black Ops 7, wingsuits, grappling hooks, 32-player modes, unified progression systems. It's the same escalation, just in a different direction. Instead of going more futuristic, they're just getting bigger and more complex. But complexity isn't always bigger. Sometimes players just want to shoot things without learning an entire movement system first. But here's where it gets interesting. When Infinite Warfare stumbled, Battlefield 1 was there with a simple promise. Authentic, gritty warfare. World War I. Bolt action rifles, no jetpacks. And it worked. Today, while Black Ops 7 is adding grappling hooks and 32-player campaigns, Battlefield is once again promising to return to its roots. Heavier movement, squad-focused gameplay, destruction physics, large-scale warfare, all the things that made Battlefield legendary. The cycle is repeating itself. When one franchise gets too complicated, the other one goes back to basics and steals the spotlight. Almost like this push and pull that's constantly going on within the industry. But let's address the elephant in the room. Franchise fatigue. We're dealing with multiple layers of exhaustion. We got another November, another $70 Call of Duty. Players are tired of running on this treadmill over and over again. I really wish that Call of Duty had at least a 2 to 3 year cycle instead of every year. I feel like by the time that they implement all of these changes and improvements, the new one is out, and then we just repeat the process of enjoying this one. That one's broken by the holiday. The devs go on holiday, so you're dealing with a broken game. You come back, you're fighting with the devs, trying to balance the game, and then we just do the cycle over and over again. It's getting exhausting. Also, every trailer is promising revolutionary changes that end up feeling like complications rather than improvements. Speaking of which, Black Ops 7 is wiping the state clean. Your Black Ops 6 operators, skins, and weapons, they'll be gone. Only thing that's left are your XP tokens and your gobblegums carry over, which is an improvement, considering people have been asking for this for a long time. People want the art style to remain the same throughout the game's life cycle. And if you were to carry over these Godzilla TMNT skins, we were back where we started. Look at how good competition is, because I do not think if Battlefield 6 was getting as much praise as it is, I don't think Treyarch would have even bothered with this at all. But also, I can also see on the other side where if you had already spent thousands of dollars on all of these skins, only to be told, to start over 8 months later, that's you feel like you've been betrayed, especially if they've been doing this over the course of a few years with each Call of Duty, and now they're just canceling. The real question is this: why does the pattern keep repeating? Why do these successful franchises always need to overcomplicate themselves into irrelevance? It's the escalation trap. Every sequel needs a selling point. Every trailer needs to grow and be the biggest and baddest before the last. Marketing departments, they're demanding bullet points, and developers are feeling pressure to deliver revolutionary features rather than refined experiences. But here's what they're missing. We don't measure fun by feature count. Perfectly balanced 6v6 match can be more engaging than a chaotic 32-player spectacle. Sometimes the best innovation is just making the existing systems work better. And I really wish COD would have went back to its roots, went and did the research, found out what made these older modern warfares exceptional, and then taken those systems, improved them, elevated them, and then came out with the Call of Duty. Even if they did that, I don't think the sentiment would have changed because of the history Activision has in their relationship with the community. It is absolute trash at this point. But I will give credit where it's due. Zombies fans are eating well. Round-based survival is back. Dead Ops Arcade 4 actually looks fun. And the promise of the largest map ever can be exciting if you're a big Zombies fan. Honestly, I never thought bigger is better. A lot of developers think that the bigger, the more spectacular everything is. That's not really the case. All you gotta do is look at Battlefield 2042 and Hourglass map. If you've experienced that map, you know what I'm talking about. What a hellscape. It's good if the map is big, but also the map needs to be intricate as well. It needs to be well designed in order to be engaging. But like I said, here's the problem. You can't carry an entire game on one mode. Infinite Warfare actually had a great zombies mode, but it couldn't overcome the multiplayer backlash. If the core Call of Duty experience feels off, even perfect side content won't save it. If the core Call of Duty experience feels off, even perfect side content won't save it. But if you are still looking forward to this game, and you were excited about it, because I have been taking note of the changes that they're making, and honestly, this might be the closest Call of Duty that we get to the core of Call of Duty with these changes that we've made. An early access beta will start October 2nd. The open beta running from October 5th to 8th. Just to wrap this up, I do want to say I'm not rooting against Black Ops 7. Competition makes everyone better. Competition is what made Battlefield 6 to what it is now. And some of these features do sound exciting. 4-player co-op campaign will be fun to play with the boys. Obviously, I won't be paying $70. I will be catching this on Game Pass when it comes out, if it does come out on Game Pass. But I can't shake the feeling we've been here before. The franchise gets ambitious, promises revolutionary changes, alienates the core audience, and suddenly the competition looks like the safer choice. The question isn't whether Black Ops 7 will be technically impressive. It probably will be, just judging off of those, the cinematics and, just the way overall the character models look fantastic. But yeah, even if it's technically impressive, the question is whether it will feel like Call of Duty or whether it will be just a different game wearing Call of Duty's name. So, what do you guys think? Are we headed for another Infinite Warfare moment, or Black Ops 7's ambitious gamble, and I do want to use ambitious really lightly here? Will this pay off for them? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video, and we will catch you guys next time. Goodbye.